For years, the people of Maokeng, the township outside Kroonstad in the Free State, were terrorized by a brutal gang called the 3 Million Gang. The authorities, for their own reasons, turned a blind eye. And then the community dealt with it in their own brutal way. An adultery and a man with a sharp sense of revenge sparked off political passions that had a Free State community in an iron grip of violence. Maokeng township in Kroonstad is as small as its passions are large. George Ramasimong, better known as Diwiti, went into battle with the ANC Youth League after learning that his wife Alice was having an affair with one of its leading members, a man in hiding from the police whom Diwiti had sheltered at his house. It was a personal conflict that, by all accounts, was soon exploited by the South African police.
In die oggend het Diwiti weer opgedag en vir my gesê, ek sê het is baie seer, die kommeries wat die vrou alles gemaak het in sy huis, nou vat hulle sy vrou, daar is onreg.
The February 1992 execution-style killing of its most notorious inhabitant, Diwiti, ended a 2-year-long reign of terror and fear in Maokeng. He was shot repeatedly by a balaclava-clad man at the local taxi rank.
By die taxi rank het ek na Diwiti toe gegaan. Terwyl ek op pad na hom toe gaan, het iemand hom geroep van agter my. Hy het omgedraai en hy het straight aan my gekyk. Dit was dit wat ek eerste skot op hom geskiet het. Hy het weggehardloop agterom na die aan die agterkant van die taxis van die kombis om. Hy het vast in 'n hoë heining gehardloop. Hy kon nie oorgespring het om weg te gaan. Dit veroorsaak dat hy moet weer terug hardloop na my toe. Hy het na my toe gehardloop in my direksie en ek het na hom toe gehardloop. Ek het hom neergeslaan in die grond. Die tyd wat hy neergeval het, toe ek hom daar so gaan skiet in die kop.
Diwiti, it is said, was the top man in the 3 Millions, a gang that was seen to be working with the police.
In 1990, after the unbanning of the political parties, a group was formed and was called the 3 Million. The situation, as from September 1990 until 1992, was sheer hell in Maokeng. I can describe it as hell. Nobody felt safe, even just to walk to his toilet at night.
And I'm aware of a number of charges that were laid against the 3 Million Gang. Those that I know of would be attempted murder, in some cases murder, in some cases arson, where houses of people were set alight, victims, and mainly robbery, which arose out of attacks on shop owners, just walking into a shop, taking whatever you want to take because you want to eat it and just moving out, and also mainly the hijacking of taxis.
Yes, I came around here in 1991 at the height of the fighting. In fact, at the height of their reign of terror here. It was a terrible situation for all the citizens here. Everybody was terrified of them. And Diwiti, I think at that time, it killed about, already ascribed to him, it was alleged at least no less than 22 murders. But still, the senior magistrate of that time continued to give him bail each time he got arrested.
I'm going to illustrate what joy there was in the community of Maokeng the day when Diwiti was shot dead. It was worse than when Nelson Mandela was freed. Up until today, it is quiet and peaceful in Kroonstad.
Roland Petrus is one of 5 ANC Self-Defense Unit members who are in prison for the murders of members of the 3 Million Gang. This week, they asked the Truth and Reconciliation Commission for amnesty. Macheba Tulo was commander of the SDU.
I am applying amnesty concerning the killing of Masusu Albert Ntemo, whom I was part of those people who killed him. And then the motivation is totally political, because the said person was part of the 3 million gangster which was terrorizing the community and doing all its efforts to eliminate the African National Congress and its alliance. I killed Masusu Ntemo on the 11th of February 1991. Yes, the situation that day was very much tense, see, because the policemen were collaborating with the said gangster, which is 3 million. It was a situation whereby it's a battlefield, actually, you see. And then Masusu confronted me with a knife, a self-made knife. Then he tried to stab me, and then I just moved on the side, and then because he was drunk, he passed, and then he wasn't facing me, I was facing his back, and then I shot him twice, and then he turned to me, then the other members of the self-defense unit who accompanied me, and we shot him. It was a hail of bullets. Then he died there. Then I made it a point that I went to him and then put the firearm into his mouth and then shot him for the last time. Then he kicked. Then he died.
You see, in my evidence this afternoon, I have said that the previous system have turned our young people into murderers, into to people without any feeling. It is not their mistake. We must put the blame squarely on the previous government, the NP government.
Oh, I just regretted after you see, when you are in the situation of such situation, you are somebody like merciless someone, because your people are dying and you cannot resist it. That's very much illegitimate, you see. So I can say I was born militant, see. So afterward I realized that, okay, as far as humanity is concerned, that's uncalled for, but that was the only alternative.
The ANC's position would probably be that whilst we don't agree with what they did, we understand the circumstances that drove them to do it. And therefore we would take a position that justice demands that they should be granted amnesty.